I feel after this, Tony Nese like looks just more confident. He's looking good out there, and the crowd was definitely much more into this. I can tell you, Tony, if this was in a Full Sail crowd, they'd be going crazy because definitely great match quality. Kept you weren't bored or engaged. It didn't feel like a spot fest. So the spots felt well planned out. And yeah, Tony Nese got the win. I don't know how that'll work out because they're both heels, but yeah, uh, definitely a really good match from
You know
two
what?
205 guys.
Really, really quick, something else that really fit this, and I guess probably the reason they did it because they wanted a hot lead-in to SmackDown 1000, and they got one.
Yeah,
I mean, they really did, and man, this match is fun. I think all of us are loving 205 Live at 7 p.m. because usually there isn't nothing on, and so that's not really a prime time spot, even though you don't really need it with WWE Network. It doesn't matter at the time, but still, it's not usually a prime spot you get wrestling on. I'm,
Excuse me.
so I like it, and
Well,
it's a lot better here.
Take the Bump made a good point in the chat saying, I think the right programming is to put 205 after NXT, more likely to keep the NXT crowd for 205.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
no, and that would be good. Only problem, and I agree, but the only problem is NXT with the Full Sail they like book like 4 episodes, like
oh,
booking.
I think he meant like showing it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I think instead of having it on before NXT, having it after NXT. So uh, we'll I think 205 Live has been doing great for a while now. I've been on the show telling you guys to watch it since Triple H took over. It has been nothing but solid wrestling on that show, solid storylines, and Tony Nese hasn't been used like this since he's been on
no,
205 Live. So I'm curious to see what exactly happens. I don't think he'll win the championship. I mean, you never know, but it's nice to see some new guys getting some title shots here on 205 Live.
Yeah, it is, and I think to what you're saying, that telling us all to watch it, it's a little easier to watch it when it's not on right after SmackDown,
Right.
and it's on like Wednesday right before. If people want to watch NXT right before NXT 205 Live,
yeah.
it's just right there. And it's more convenient to watch than having to wait. Oh, we just finished Raw the night before. Now we've just finished 2 hours of SmackDown. Now we got to watch.
Even with the schedule the way it is, you're still finishing your wrestling Wednesday by 10 p.m. So still works.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at how they did NXT UK. I mean, at 3 o'clock, I think they re-showed it again after the Mae Young Classic. I believe they were re-showing it last night. So I
Yep.
mean, you have that always. That might be the way to do it as well too. Have NXT UK premiere after NXT.
Yeah, that is something to think about as well. Um, Anything
And
else you
next
guys
week,
want to touch on next week? I know you were touching on Hideo Itami taking on Mustafa Ali. That should be a dandy of a match right
yeah,
there.
falls down anywhere. So yeah, and Mike Kanellis makes his in-ring debut, so that'll be good.
Now let's touch on Mike Kanellis real quick. Now he was a recent guy that was moved to 205 Live. What are your thoughts on this, Alex, of the move from the main roster on Raw to 205 Live?
This actually makes sense. This is not the case of a Finn Balor. Like Mike Kanellis has literally uh, been not been used, and yeah, part of that is let's be honest. I really do feel they signed him because of Maria, but like that was the big point. Like Maria Kanellis was out. Obviously she was pregnant, so they kept him off. So if he's utilized on 205, I'm all for it. I mean, it adds a new heel power couple to the 205 roster. So that I'm all for it. Like I said, I'm all for talent. I guess getting some form of exposure.
Okay. What about you, Dave? Before we jump into NXT.
Yeah, I think it works perfectly, and I love how Mike Kanellis last night. I don't know if you guys seen it, but he did a little interview too, where he said that I think it was last night or it was on the YouTube show, where he said that I was overlooked for a year, and now I'm sick of waiting, being patient. He basically taken what all the internet fans have been saying. Oh well, you're never used on Raw anymore. You're never even used at all. They're
Yeah.
mistreating you. You should just leave. And now he's taking that and using it, kind of like saying that, oh, I was overlooked for a year. No more. I'm here in 205 Live. I'm taking my opportunities. And it makes perfect sense because now it's like he's a completely refreshed and rebooted character, kind of like when they first came in on SmackDown. That's what it kind of reminds you of, and I can't wait to see what they do with him. And
Uh,
Triple H knows. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, finish that. I'll add
I
on.
was just saying Triple H knows what he's doing, and he's taking these guys like a Tony Nese and like a Buddy Murphy. Before he got there, these guys weren't really being used like they should, and now he's blowing their careers up, and they're still.
I was just and just
Brandon After in the show tonight. What's up, Brandon After?
just to add to that, Zack Ryder should follow note and cut some weight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. What's up, Brandon After? Welcome to the show, my friend. Hopefully we can have you on the show soon. I know you're busy since Sixers basketball is back, but we hope to have you again on the show sometime. He's completely fresh now and in better shape. Yes, absolutely. And we all know that he has been battling with substance abuse. He's been talking about it on Twitter quite a bit as well. I even mentioned about it, and he's been sober free for quite a bit of time now. So, yeah, props to Mike Canales. Hopefully, he gets the proper run he should have gotten on the main roster on Raw. They haven't done shit with him. Absolutely nothing with Mike Canales on Raw, which is kind of a shame.
Really quick before we move on, the cool thing about 205 Live, I think, right now, is Vince doesn't give a shit what he does on there. He doesn't give what Triple H pushes, who he doesn't push, because it doesn't matter. It's not Raw or SmackDown. I mean,
wait. Hold on. No, I think OBS crashed.
Oh.
Son of a bitch. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, hold on. I got to restart. God damn. I'm just going to take off OBS. I think I know why, because I have too many pictures up on here. Can y'all hear me still?
Yep.
Dave? Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to restart it real quick. God damn it, man.
You jinxed it. Botchamania.
Wow. Why'd you say that? Now you got me all.
No, it's all good, man.
That's trippy, though. It was. God damn it, man. I got to write this all again. Shit. Can you just maybe do a little quick tweet?
Mm-hmm.
All right. God damn. I had a feeling because Dave was breaking up a little bit, and then it went good, and then he started touching on it, and then boop, it was gone. We broke. Man, that sucks. What else? What else were we talking about?
So NXT.
Matt Rydell. Let's put Matt Rydell because we're gonna touch on him. Mia Yim, right? Is it YIM?
Yep.
Yeah. Tegan Knox, I guess.
I just put Brian Cage.
Yeah, let him get in the show.
Yeah. Come on in, big fella.
But Brian Cage is my hero.
Also, by the way, side note, how reliable is Ringside News?
Why? What happened?
No, they're just posting a lot of hot stuff that we'll talk about Saturday. I'm just reading it right now. I'm just curious.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I just want to know if you guys know how, I guess.
Okay. We're back on Periscope, everybody. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. OBS crashed. I had a feeling that was going to happen because these guys were kind of breaking up on my ends and I couldn't really hear them too much. So back to the regular format for now. Thank you, everybody, for rejoining us. If you don't mind resharing and reposting the show. Hey, welcome, Sock Monkey Mike. How you doing tonight? So appreciate everybody popping back in. Sorry about that. We'll just start right back where we were talking about WWE NXT. Touched on Mike and yes, Bobarooski, basically. We already touched on Mike and Ellis in 205 Live. So let's move over on to WWE NXT because I thought there was a lot of news coming out of NXT. Obviously, what you see in the title, huge news next week will be announced by William Regal with the whole War Games stuff going on next month. But we had a tag team title match to open up WWE NXT last night. We had the War Raiders taking on Undisputed Era. And I know Dave and I kind of touched on this last week that this probably match was going to have a lot of shenanigans in it. And it ended up having some shenanigans in it. War Raiders win by disqualification because we got the return of Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish comes out and lays
out the War Raiders with a chair, takes them out completely. Some brutal chair shots as well. What did you think of the match, Dave? And what did you think about Bobby Fish making his return?
NXT starts and ends basically the same way as last night. I mean, both basically run in, finish it. Look, the match was going really good, and I was enjoying it. And like, of course, here comes Adam Cole. Of course, it's getting really good, so here comes Adam Cole to ruin everything. So I mean, and he didn't. But then Bobby Fish returns, and I'm gonna say this now because I've told Alex this too. I think there's no way these four guys stay together. So I predicted. I told this to Alex. I said that War Games Undisputed Era is gonna lose, and they're gonna turn on one of their own. It's either gonna be Strong getting beat up, or it's gonna be Adam Cole.
Yeah, and to add to that, I could see Roddy, kind of like how I know everyone's gonna be like, "Why are you doing this?" But Bullet Club, like I could see Roddy kicking out Adam Cole and becoming the new leader. Let Undisputed Era be an NXT thing, and Cole gets called up.
No, oh, how about this? Cole doesn't get called up, and he creates his own Undisputed Era OGs.
Oh, so we're down the WO route.
That's funny. So yeah, I know there's a lot of spoilers out. They know that they did the tapings, I believe, yesterday, and I'm pretty sure tapings will run today, if I'm not mistaken. So if we'd appreciate nobody spoiling it for us tonight, we would really appreciate that. I know some of you probably have already read some of the spoilers already. But what's next? Do you think that these guys will probably be in a War Games type match? Or do we see a rematch between these four gentlemen at War Games? What do you think, Alex?
I'm not going to comment on future booking because I've read the spoilers.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Dave?
I would say yes. I would say we see. I'm trying to think of who do you put with War Machine, other than like maybe. Hey, there's two guys that just came back last night. Why not put Butch and Loney Orkin in there?
Woo! Yeah, definitely.
And make that a 4-on-4 thing, and you have those guys. Or maybe, why not put the tag titles on the line while you're doing it anyway? I mean, you could do that too if they wanted. But yes, they would take away a tag title match.
Why not throw in Ricochet and Pete Dunne?
You want all your titles tied up in one match?
I mean, to me, honestly, and I'm not saying that. To me, War Games to me is like a throwaway pay-per-view for NXT. And in a way, I think it's a pay-per-view because after that you got the big time, the Royal Rumble NXT, where I'm sure all the titles will be on the line.
I wouldn't go as far as to like say it's a throwaway because I mean last year we had Andrade we had a new NXT champion crown. You know,
that's true. That's true.
We had Velveteen Dream's breakout performance with Black also. So I know what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But it probably wouldn't be Birch and Lorcan. It would probably be, like you said, Pete Dunne and Ricochet. I just hate to see that, even both titles, because who knows, the UK title could get defended. But if it's both tied and both American, and they're both tied up, and I mean, we said the same thing about the Shield, how they're tying up all the titles with the one feud, and I would rather see more than two titles defended at TakeOver War Games. I mean, to me, that would mean a little bit more, but it was going to get a match.
And then you would still at least have the what's it called, the NXT World Title and the women's title. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But to me, it makes the most sense to have Ricochet in that match because he's kind of feuding with Adam Cole at the moment, and so is Pete Dunne. But I mean, I guess we got to wait and see and find out. Next, we had.
Oh wait, real quick.
Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to comment on that. I agree with Dave. It was a good match. I mean, this is what tag team wrestling is. It's like two established tag teams, not just two single stars put together in a match and stuff like that. So some good tag work got really picked up towards the end. I mean, for you guys who don't really know War Raiders, that guy Hanson, woof, he can move for a big man. I mean, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
let me ask you guys this: weren't you a little disappointed? Like, oh great, here we go again, another no finish.
Yes, yes,
That
but I also am going to be biased because NXT because I mean you'll find out. But if it pushes a bigger storyline, like we'll talk about in the main event, I can go with it. But I agree.
I have no problem with it. Push this match set up to pushing something else later on. My problem is with this. You give us a 15, maybe 20
Yeah.
minute that was going to the classic, and then you say, "Oh, guess what? It's welcome to Monday Night Raw. Here's a run-in."
Bob Ruski makes a good point. With the Undisputed Era, no finishes are certain, and you kind of had a feeling that
I agree
that there was going to be a no finish, that something was going to happen. Not to see that Bobby Fish return. I don't think any of us kind of expected that, unless you read the spoilers. But I wasn't expecting to see him back already. I was still going to the point to where they were going to choose someone.
Yeah.
To join them in the War Games match.
I was just gonna say really quick, the no finish like that isn't a problem for me. If they want to do a no finish, make it like a 5-6 minute match, then have a big run in. Don't even let the match really get going like that. To just treat us to a great match and then just have it end like that. That's like typical Monday Night Raw booking.
Cock tease.
Yeah, but isn't that what makes them them trying to be a heel team even though they still get cheered a little bit? That you want them to do stuff that pisses you off and doesn't make you like them.
No, it's nothing.
That's one thing that'll do it. I know you're going to blame WWE mostly. You're not going to blame Undisputed Era, but that's what makes being.
To me, that's just the booking of the match. You're okay if we're going to do a no finish. Let's just book this like a 5.
Yeah, but that's to me. That's also. That's what sucks about being who we are now. You know, when we looked into it like that. If we don't look so into it, we would just go with, oh, it's Undisputed Era. They're heels. They don't want their friends to lose, so they're going to go and, help them out. But yet, now that we do these shows like this, we're looking more into it and we're blaming booking, where it's more as, I think it's storyline, Undisputed Era costing War Machine because they know that they are a viable threat to the.
Look, I get what you're saying. I really do. I mean, I get what they're trying to tell. I just don't like it as a fan because just like today's wrestling, how much we get wrestling so much. And this is another reason WWE gets crapped on a lot for doing stuff like this. But I get what they're doing. They're playing up the cowardly heels who would do anything to keep their titles. I get that. But just as a wrestling fan, not just as, I would just like to not see a finish like that or just have it not last, so take up half the show with a no finish because you got the same thing in the main event, another no finish. Yes, your Alistair return, I get it. But still, that kind of made me mad too. But we'll get there.
Next we had Britt Baker taking on Shayna Baszler. Really not much to talk about there. Kind of, I guess a squash match if you really want to call it that. And the ref called off the match after she stopped to bent her. She what did she do? The bent her arm or something like that, or I can't remember exactly. Yeah, so she couldn't continue, and of course the ref stopped the match. What else? We had Bing and Rocky versus Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Now, what can you tell me about Bing and Rocky, Alex? I saw you actually tweet about them.
Oh, the only thing I tweeted was honestly, when you see just these two tag team come out for no reason, it's most likely they're getting squashed. But I was like, hey, they got theme music, good for them. So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I didn't cut you off really quick. I was like, man, okay, here's a new team. They're giving an entrance. Okay, who are these? Who are these guys? Are they gonna face some jobbers and get a decent win or do some new tag team? And then you hear,
yeah. But I'd like to think, I guess, that somewhere later down the line they'll be used more. The fact that they're getting theme music. All I know is that Bing they kind of hyped him up. I don't know, WrestleMania season or something like that. Like he's the first.
Wait, hold on. Adam Bomb says apparently Bing got released today.
Never mind. Okay, then just about Bing.
Yeah, what'd you think of Rocky?
Oh shit! Apparently, 3 people were released, including that guy Bing. One.
Was Keanu Reeves released?
Nope. Keanu
Oh.
Reeves has to be fed to someone. But yeah,
Who else was released?
so the 3 names I'm seeing is Tian Bing, Jason Chang. I guess Jason Chang is Rocky. I don't know. And I don't know if you guys ever remember, they were here maybe rarely, but the Ely brothers, like one of the Ely brothers, I think is gone. I don't know. But basically,
no one really who would be
no,
fans would care about.
Yeah, so when you see these like cuts, like you're like, okay, I've never seen him before, I guess for a reason.
Other than the funny thing is that we were about to touch about being a guy who's no longer in the company. So I mean, yeah, Oni and Danny get an easy win over here. I mean, there's nothing to talk about because the guys are released. I was about to say, like, dude, a tag team to look out for. Never mind. All right, so Dave kind of touched on the main event a little bit, so let's jump right into it with Bianca Belair taking on Nikki Cross. And like Dave said, it ended in a no finish because Aleister Black showed up in the middle of the ring. Black tells her to come to him with his hand, and she slithers over to him and asks her to tell him, and she apparently whispers in his ear what she saw, and he was not happy one bit. I know you read rumors or you already read the spoilers, Alex, but without spoiling anything, what is the excitement level with this storyline since you kind of read spoilers on a 1 to 5 level?
I know. I would say definitely like a 4 just for the surprise factor. It feels like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'll just leave it at that.
Is it an overreaction? Because to me, the most obvious choice with the way working is set up, it has to be Ciampa, and it's like his reaction. It's like he gets so pissed and he's shaking like he's the Ultimate Warrior or something. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, is it your brother? I mean, geez.
I tweeted a meme saying that Nikki basically told Aleister he's getting called up soon.
Adam Baum says, slight warning, expect a swerve.
That's what I said. M. Night Shyamalan twist. And so
I think I know who it was.
Yeah,
it was Mustafa Ali.
It was Candice.
I told you guys this from the beginning. It was Candice.
It's Candice. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, but if it's a swerve, it was Candice.
It's either Candice or Dakota Kai.
If it was Candice, Aleister Black should get released. I'm sorry. If Candice, the Cupcake Queen, took him out, then he should be released.
Well, I mean, it makes sense, though. It makes sense if you think about it, because she wanted Johnny Gargano to have a better chance to win. Probably wanted to get her revenge. So it's not like I'm saying he attacked her with her bare hand. Maybe she hit him with something, you know,
like a car.
If that's the case, Candice is ride or die.
There you go. Exactly.
Oh man,
she didn't like the way she was seeing her husband turn to, and boom, took out the suspect. And no one's gonna think of it being Candice because she's sweet Candice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go the other route, the other person that benefited really was Johnny Gargano, or both of them. Who knows? Because, hey, Johnny, you want your 1-on-1 shot? Well, you can't have it if Black's there, so let's take him out. I mean, that almost seems like the other obvious choice. We see heel Ciampa and heel Gargano teaming up now.
Yeah. No, and so I will give them props. They haven't overdone the whodunit storyline. It's still intriguing, and just to comment on the main event, it was a damn good match. I mean, if I didn't see Becky and Charlotte have a 25-minute match on SmackDown, I would have put this as my favorite women's wrestling match I've seen in quite a long time on the WWE. They brought it Nikki style. I think Nikki and Bianca had great chemistry. Belair looked awesome. Nikki was Nikki, and I know Dave. I know with the no finish because they were really getting into the match. it wasn't the best, but I love the ending, honestly. Just the way like how Black returned and his and I love the interactions between Nikki Cross and Aleister Black. The whole come here and then he's like growling like tell me and like the face. So and I guess Aleister got lessons from Triple H for doing the constipated angry face.
Yeah.
He pulled it off really well. I liked it. So
Yeah,
I love the ending personally, just because of I'm invested in that storyline. You know, whatever the payoff is, the way they booked it. So yeah, I liked it.
Appreciate the Speeds and the Super Hearts. Thank you very, very much. Good show earlier tonight, man. Thank you for the Super Hearts and the shares and the invites of followers. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
I mean, one thing I just thought about, and I can't believe it, but the tag match with Lorcan and Birch was the only match that had a clean finish.
Yeah.
Just a straight up finish. And I mean, a clean, and they went over and beat. Of course they did, because Ming's unemployed now. But still, I mean,
that's crazy that we were gonna.
Hey, what'd you think of Bianca?
I gotta. This was her best match, in my opinion. And one thing I really enjoyed about this match, I thought her selling was really good in this match.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the way she was doing it and barely kicking out and escaping, and then going for the repeated pin covers. I mean, and to me, Nikki Cross, man, she ever since I know people have really been high on her, but to me, she has really started. Forget sanity, screw sanity. I'm sorry, but screw sanity.
Yeah.
Let her be by herself like this, because ever since the stuff with Ciampa and stuff last week, I mean, she has become. It's just been blowing up with her. She's became a star overnight. I know a lot of people have been really high on her, but to me, she's really showing it now. She's really coming out of her shell. Go ahead.
She's definitely really more over with the crowd, and she really seemed to hit a stride being by herself on NXT. Let her stay there for a little bit longer. Maybe
even send her to UK.
I'm sorry?
I'll say, hell, send her to the UK. Let her work there, too.
And you know what I love? That, and it's like, I guess this is just NXT itself. It's that Nikki's not like, you know, she's a woman wrestler. So in NXT, it's kind of like you're fighting for you're trying to strive to get the NXT women's title. But obviously she's not in the picture. But she's being involved in the main storyline. She's such a central figure, so they're trying to keep involve as much talent as possible and just get them exposed. So I love how they're keeping her in the storyline.
I hope they have a match at Takeover. I really do at the War Games.
Oh yeah, I would love to see.
I'm more. I think if I could see more stuff like this, I really enjoyed this match from Bianca Belair. I thought her and Nikki both really shined and stood out in this match. I mean, Bianca selling. Bianca hitting these moves. I mean, I'm not a big fan of her particularly or her husband choice. So, I mean,
gotta throw in the hate at the Street Profits, even though they weren't even on the goddamn show.
But just
I know that's the good part.
And just to end on it, like Tony, like you said, with like how War Games is booked, you know, like a lot of the talents in the main event. Why not have a Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross opener? I mean, you need 5 matches.
Still the show.
Yeah, well, right now if you think about it, War Games has what you got with the War Games match itself. It looks like Ciampa's defending his title.
Too.
I'm gonna assume there's a women's title match. I would assume, and it's 50-50 a tag title match at the moment right now.
And this isn't a spoiler because it's not in the tapings, but I'm assuming they're going to do Matt Riddle versus Ono. Because
yes, that's got to be another one that they have for sure. They've been teasing it for since he's released the debut, I guess. The week after he kind of mentioned them during the whole Aleister Black investigation. So maybe we do see that what happens there when they announce it. So. Dave, what did you think of NXT in a whole?
No, I did enjoy how they did Black, because you knew it was Black. And the crowd, I mean, this crowd, I mean, can you imagine 205 Live with this crowd? This would be unbelievable.
Yep.
But how the crowd was going, because they can't predict what the crowd's going to say. And when they started chanting, Nikki's got a secret, and she's just rolling, I mean, that was just perfect. I mean, that was just the way she played that off perfectly. I mean, man, how she has not been women's champion is unbelievable.
I agree.
freaking good.
And you could tell the crowd really cares about the NXT talent because even at the end, like it's a very loud crowd, and when Nikki was whispering to Black, you could hear them like audibly like trying to shush each other because obviously they care about what's happening in the ring. They're not just trying to hijack it.
Oh, Adam Bomb, don't you tease me like that, my friend.
Yeah, but as a whole, I thought it was a good show. I'd give it I'll give it a 3.5. I mean, the half because there was no Street Profits, so that's a plus.
Again, with the Street Profits, not even on the show, yeah, getting heat. Gotta love it. At least they're in your mind, Dave. At least you know that they have some talent. What about you, Alex?
Well, really quick, they don't have talent. They marry talent.
I don't know how to follow that.
So wrong.
I'll give this a 4 out of 5 because, like I said,
okay.
Just yes, I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of no finishes. More so in the opening match, the ending I loved. Like I said, I'm fully into the storyline, regardless of what I know.
Into that match.
Yeah, the lead up is definitely good, regardless of who it is.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job with storytelling, and it's going to look very interesting to see what happens next week. I wonder how long until we finally find out who did it, everybody. So let's move on to the Mae Young Classic. I thought, to get my rating out, I thought NXT was a 4 as well. Pretty solid show. Even though we got 2 no finishes in 2 of their double main event matches, I still think that they both delivered, and the storytelling in both of the matches are continuing with the storylines. It's continuing making you question what's going on and what's going to happen next. So I'm really enjoying what we're getting on NXT at the moment. So also, again, I wanted to remind you guys, this is our last Thursday night show. So we do apologize for the technical issues. I'm glad it's happening tonight and not on Saturday. Saturday we'll have the old stuff up again, but OBS crashed. So I just didn't want to restart it up. So we just went with the regular Periscope show tonight. So thank you guys for joining. Also, I want to say thank you for everybody who watched our show on YouTube on Tuesday night. It was the most viewers we've ever had overnight. We had over 70 viewers watch our Tuesday night show. Usually we hit about 50 to 60 viewers per video on our Tuesday night show. But man, after last night's, Tuesday night show, it really was a successful show. Maybe because of SmackDown 1000 had something involved with that. But man, it was a really nice showing we had we're almost 100 views already. So thank you guys so much. And I think we got a couple of more subscribers as well. So thank you very much for the support over there on YouTube. So let's jump over to Mae Young Classic. Interesting show last night. We finally saw the injury that we reported a long time ago when the Mae Young Classic started. Tegan Nox injuring her knee. Let's touch on that match since that's kind of the news that was out of last night. One of the things out of last night. Dave, what did you think of the match and how they played off the injury?
I mean, you knew it was coming. So, I mean, you wouldn't expect. I think if you knew what was happening, you knew this was going to happen. You were just waiting to see the spot and when it happened. I mean, the match was okay. I mean, but then when it happened, you're like, oh. And then her tweet today or last night, whatever she did today, yeah, it was funny as hell. I laughed. I'm sorry, it was in bad taste, but it was funny as hell. I mean, it was so good.
So wrong. That's so wrong.
It was so good, though.
But you know what? When Rhea Ripley comes to NXT, she's going to be one of the top heels with stuff like this.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I mean, she's doing a very good job at what she's doing right now, and she's improved from last year's Mae Young Classic. I know that was the big talk when during the first round, and I just saw a lot of people on Twitter talk about the Tegan injury and how it was sad and how it came off on TV, and it was very heartbreaking. And that's what I want to hear what you guys thought on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, it was sad. It sucked. I mean, We hate all of us. I can speak for everyone, every wrestling fan. I think no one wants to see anyone get hurt like that and have to
Right.
have something. Yeah, no one wants to see that. I mean, it sucks. I mean, a lot of us have all seen. It's a little different story. We've all seen the Sid break. So I mean,
Oof. Ooh,
that's
don't
what.
remind me.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Don't
though.
remind me of that one.
That was bad. Well, yeah, I'm just saying stuff like this happens in wrestling, and that goes to show you what they're out. People, a lot of people like to bash wrestling fans, but when these wrestlers are out there doing stuff like that, putting their bodies and their livelihood on the line,
Yeah.
I mean that happens, and it sucks. I mean, the guy from Japan when he got thrown on his neck.
Yeah.
I mean, man, stuff like this happens. It sucks.
Yeah, yeah, injuries do happen like that. Now, how you said they played it off well on TV? Did it hit you in the feels, Dave, when you saw that?
Not really. I just felt bad for her, but I mean, see, this is different than if this was Monday Night Raw and this happened. You know what I mean? Because we all knew it happened. It's not like it just happened. It's like, oh my god, this is like I think when the guy from what Utah Jazz or whatever team he plays for now, I can't remember what team he plays for, but Humphreys when he got hurt in the beginning, the first game of the season last year. You felt bad for when you seen it live like that. So we already knew it was coming. So I think if it happened right there in front of us, not expecting it, it would have been different. But I still feel bad. I mean, it didn't really hit me in the feels or nothing, but I felt bad for her because
Okay.
this happened again. So
Yeah,
I
I get
mean, I seen the video where Triple H is back there talking to her and stuff like that, and she's like all upset. I felt bad for her watching that video more than I did when it actually happened because she was just so upset and crying.
What about you, Alex? What did you think of it?
Yeah. So
Did it hit you in the feels?
yeah, I mean, like kind of like Dave says, like it's not like I'm this Tegan Knox mark. I honestly didn't know much about her, but it sucks to see that happen. I mean, these competitors, they do this to entertain us and to put on matches, and this is their way of living. So it's sad, especially like Dave said, like she's just coming off an ACL tear in her right knee, and she injured her left knee, her healthy knee on this one. All we know about the injury is that they're saying that she just blew out her knee. For sports fans, you guys know when they say the term "blown out," that's a very vague term. It doesn't specify anything. So that can mean anything from did she have an ACL tear to or all three damage. Like football fans know that as like the unhappy triad, those type of things.
Right.
It sucks. It's like I said, knowing that where she came from and all that, and like if you see it, like the camera went to the crowd, like there, there were some people just shocked. You saw some people crying.
Oh yeah, it was. That's what I saw. At least on Twitter, I saw a lot of people very emotional throughout the Twitterverse on talking about the whole injury itself.
And I did watch the video with her, Triple H, and that was sad. The one that got to me though is like so she did a suicide dive and essentially, she landed on her knees on the ramp, and that's when she felt it, and you could see her like, whatchamacallit, she's like punching the stairs, like she's visibly like pissed, like frustrated. You could hear her screaming like, "I can't do this again." Like that's really when it hit me. I was like, damn, like it was so raw. And like, obviously like you guys said, if this was a Raw SmackDown, they try to like play it off. Like I think when Neville got a knee injury, Jericho got himself disqualified to cover it up. With this match, obviously like it's a tournament, and it's like they whatever they had planned booking wise, whether Rhea was supposed to go over or not, they went with the match, but it was clear like Knox could not continue, and it sucks. Hopefully, I don't think this is the last we see of her. I mean, we could see that she got a lot of support. Even before this, she was definitely getting over with the crowd. So hopefully, she has a safe recovery and comes back whenever she can.
Yeah, because before this, Cole and all of them, they were really putting her over big time during her other matches.
I think.
So, I mean, I hope they give her a contract. I really do, because I think she deserves it. I mean, she deserves it. I mean, come on.
So Baba Russi says, so is she prone to injuries?
Well, I mean, that unfortunately, like I know we're not trying to be dicks about this, but look how WWE views injuries, especially back to back. I mean, look at Derrick Rose.
Oh man, yeah, that yeah. I think Paris. Is it freezing on y'all seeing? Because I can't see any more of these comments now.
No, let's do it on
It
here.
was before, but no, everything's coming in. The last comment I have is from Adam Bomb.
Yeah, see, I don't see that one.
And yeah,
What is-
Adam Bomb, I agree. She tried to continue the match. She said, "Fuck it, I know I can go." Like, you know, it's you can see the passion in there. So yeah, sad. Definitely a downer.
You know what? Where was this when Liv Morgan got knocked out? I mean, why not stop the match then? Oh no, you can't. It's Monday Night Raw. We can't stop it.
So
Just
instead,
live.
drag her in the ring.
Yes, yeah. That's I mean, I might have to have y'all. I'm all right, Periscope. Well, I'm gonna give this one more try, and if y'all fuck this up, we're just gonna be done for tonight. This Periscope is fucking. I can't see anybody's comments. All I got last night is Bobarewski, Jody, and Adam Bomb. Adam Bomb saying blew out is putting it mildly. I don't see any of these. Oh man,
I see him. So,
be back. What is up with Periscope tonight? All right, we're on YouTube. We'll try OBS one more time, and if it messes up, then we're just gonna call it a night.
All right.
This is acting funny. I don't get this. I never had this
Tony,
issue. What's up?
did you cry when Tegan Knox got hurt?
No. It was a sad situation. I'm not gonna deny that.
Maybe if I was there watching it live, maybe, you know, like actual live, this is live, it would have meant more, but yeah, we knew it was coming. I mean, we were all like predisposed really bad.
And Dave and I were like side messaging each other like for the last 3 weeks. Like, is this the night it happens? Is this the night it happens? We knew.
I'm sure that
I thought it was going to be a lot worse, honestly. I was expecting a lot worse than that. I was expecting it to be some
Sid Vicious shit.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Oh,
So like you jumped down and then it gave out or twisted or whatever. That's what I was expecting.
Fucking shit. Yeah,
45 to 10.
And they're gonna hear this on Periscope too. All right, we're live again, everybody. Trying OBS. We're gonna see how this goes, and if it just keeps screwing up on us, everybody, then we're just gonna end tonight's show. Again, I apologize. I don't know what's going on. If it's my internet, I don't know if it's Periscope, but it's just crapping out on us on every single thing, and I'm not seeing chat or nothing. But everybody, thank you for popping in again. I'm sorry, this won't happen again. We're gonna be stopping this after this. All right, Dave. Let's jump. Oh, sorry. Let's jump into the other matches on Mae Young Classic as well. We saw what else? Oh, here it is. We also saw Toni Storm take on Mia Yim, and also the news out of that match was Mia Yim getting signed to the WWE by Triple H. It had a nice little video after NXT went off air where she met with Triple H, talked about, yeah, exactly, Bobarewski, and talked to Triple H. He said that the crowd was chanting "Sign Mia Yim," and he said okay, and he basically said welcome to the club. So she gets signed by the WWE. I think a lot of people probably said this was a long time coming. We'll go with your thoughts real quick on this match, Alex. What did you think, and the signing of Mia Yim?
Decent match. Wasn't match of last night, but you know it was a decent match. I mean, I'm happy for Mia Yim. I mean, she's been one of those wrestlers been on the independent scene for a while. And yeah, I remember when I read the tapings, like Triple H had came out and like the crowd was just chanting, "Please sign Mia," and Triple H was just like, "Okay." And he even said that in the video after. He's like, "We were gonna do it, but they kind of asked me tonight, so I just said screw it." So I like that. Good for Mia. I know Keith Lee will be happy to see her, but yeah, looking forward to see what she's gonna bring to the roster for sure. She's very talented.
All right, Dave, your thoughts.
I thought, like Alex said, the match was pretty good. It was nothing spectacular, but it was good. And heck, I think they did this last year too when they said "Sign me a Yim" last year, or maybe that was Gabby. I thought it was me, but it was one of them, anyways. But he kept
Well,
saying,
I
"You
think
guys talk."
Bob Rusi said, didn't something like this happen at the Cruiserweight Classic?
It
That's
did, but
what
it also happened last year as well too, because they said, "Please sign Cedric after the Ibushi match."
yes.
Yeah, and he put his thumbs up, said okay. But yeah, I was happy. I'm glad her like we've seen a bunch of other people got signed too. Like Chelsea Green was just signed as well too. And I mean, yeah, so I'm happy for both of them. And I'm a big fan of Mia Yim. I do like people who speaking of people who've changed their gimmick a lot and their look, Mia Yim's another one who's changed her look completely
Yeah,
from
she
what
has a
she
unique
was.
look. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm glad she's gonna be there. And she's already made a few NXT live events, so I can't wait to see her. See, it's funny now they're starting to bring in some really good women to NXT because for the last year it's been pretty bad. Like hardly anyone there. It's like a empty locker room because there's like no one there to really do anything. But you know what? Hey, good. We got Gianna Prazo. We got Mia Yim. I mean, it's loaded right now. It's getting loaded, so I'm happy. And I'm
That
happy for Mia.
good.
Speaking of Deonna Purrazzo, we saw her last night take on Io Shirai. Io Shirai wins. She defeats Deonna Purrazzo to move on. Alex, your quick thoughts of this match itself. You're the big Io Shirai fan. What did you think?
Did you watch any highlights or gifs from it?
Yes, she was mighty impressive.
You're just so flippy, man. But yeah, no, I mean, you guys can't really take my opinion seriously when it comes to Io Shirai because I'm obviously very biased. So it was a good match. I think the crowd with the tapings are starting to get tired out. We're starting to show it's tired, but I liked it, man. I mean, it had a good mix of everything. It had chain wrestling, it had lucha libre, some good submission reversals. It was a good match, and like Dave said, like you guys said, like we've got a lot of really good talent for the women's division coming in. I mean, Deonna Purrazzo's in there, Io Shirai's in there, so Deonna Purrazzo got a good showing, and yeah, Io Shirai is going to the semifinals, and should be a
Oh,
lot
come
of
on.
fun. Sorry, Dave, we're
We,
not getting it. Doesn't we're not getting Io and Mako next week.
that's so bull. I'll get there. We'll get there. I'll get to that. We're not done. We'll get to that part of the show. But
Yeah, see,
yeah,
Periscope's still messing up, but I'm not going to end the show. I just can't see who's in here.
yeah.
So if I don't say
Lois
hello to
Shirai.
y'all, I apologize. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said Shirai looked good. I mean, but I also think Deonna Purrazzo looked really good out just as well as Shirai did because they both did a phenomenal job in that match last night. I mean, it was awesome. It was fun to watch. Like Alex said, it gave you a little bit of everything. I mean, the armbar she hooked on her, I mean, was beautiful, and she kept it in for a long time. So I mean, yeah, it was fun,
You got a
and I
6-1.
enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Miko taking on Lacey Lane. Lacey Lane gets defeated by Miko. She moves on into the next round.
Lacey's another one that signed with NXT.
Yes, she's another signee of the new NXT roster. The women's division is going to be lit during the summer of next year. I tell you that. What did you think of this match, Dave?
I loved it because I just love Miko because she's awesome. She is, and Michael Cole loves her too because he was putting her over like crazy. It's like, oh, this Lacey Lane chick better step up and respect her, and then she shows her disrespect. I think she doesn't show her disrespect anymore. I mean, she beat the shit out of her. I mean, holy shit. That's what was fun about this. And what
Um,
the hell? Are you fucking serious with this booking of this tournament? You have a chance to give us two of the best Japanese wrestlers. And you, oh no, we don't want to do it. No, we're just go the other way. I mean, it reminds me of the Cruiserweight Classic when everyone wanted Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ibushi in the finals, and nope, we have to go the other route. I mean, why couldn't you? This isn't even the final. This is just a semifinals they could have done. I hate this because I was really wanting to see Shirai and Miko so bad.
Adam Bomb in the chat. That's funny. Bob Rushi, there was an update on Periscope a couple days ago. Maybe that's why we're having so many issues on my iPad because I haven't updated it. So that could be an issue as well. I haven't done the update on my iPad or on Periscope. So that could be why we're having some bad issues tonight. Figures we have bad issues on our last show on a Thursday night. Figures, huh? Thanks, Periscope. Appreciate that. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, really with these Mako matches, I still think my favorite match is still Martinez and Mako from I think last week. But yeah, I love how they presented her because like now you get this vibe like she's a badass. I think there was someone named Asuka that was kind of like this once upon a time. I don't remember, but yeah, she looked great. I mean, it's these matches have pretty much been showcases for her. So um, I think Dave next week is we'll announce next week, but her versus Storm is going to be amazing. And
Yeah, I get that, but
but
really, the match.
I agree. I know the Io Shirai Mako was to be, but no, Mako has looked awesome. I don't see her signing with WWE. I'd like to think she'll have like those like a little like kind of like I guess a Legends contract where she'll be like she'll be on some matches in NXT, which I think would be fucking awesome. Yeah, I mean Lacey's got that underdog baby face. She has a good look. She's signing up, so yeah. Overall, good night. Definitely a good night on with the exception of the injury.
Here come the porn bots, and that's so you can add mods on Periscope now. And the weird thing was I wasn't following Babaruski, even though I've always been following. See, something is freaking up. I'm not liking this Periscope. All right, so let's move on. So next week, what are the matches?
So we have Mako Satomura versus Tony Storm, and like I said, all I will say is it got really great reviews, which I'm not surprised. So definitely looking forward to that. Then we have Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley, and yeah, that's it. And then the winners of those two of each match will then go to WWE Evolution. So Tony, obviously, obviously Dave and I know the spoilers, so we won't comment on it. But what are your predictions for the finals?
Oh, I think we all know what the predictions are. It's going to be
I won't say yes or no.
Tony Storm taking on Io Shirai at Evolution, and that'll probably be the talk of the night, match of the night, everything you could think of that you can say positive about those two women going after each other.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. Like, we didn't know it was going to be those two in the finals. I mean, come on. Everyone knew that.
Maybe. Rhea Ripley's looking good. Who knows? But yeah, definitely looking forward to next week for sure. Because, like I said, it's just down to these four women. And I think for the semifinals, because this is the last Mae Young Classic episode, technically, because Evolution's the payoff. So I think they're really going to bring it next week as they have been all tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting next week to talk about. Again, thank you everybody for joining us again. Sorry for the technical issues that we've been having throughout the night. This is our third attempt of doing a show. I don't know what's up with Periscope. It's not telling me the right viewer count. It's not telling me who's in the show. It's not telling me who's been in the show, who's joining. It's not telling me any of that. So I can see y'all's comments, so that's the positive thing. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I see Jeffrey Cross is in here, so thank you, Jeffrey Cross, for popping in and saying hello. Periscope's being an Aries. I like that out. That's funny. So I'm not sure what's going on, but again, thank you again for joining us. We'll be live again on Saturday night. There's a lot to talk about. Sami Callihan news and these new NXT signings as well to touch on Saturday night. So overall, rating of Mae Young Classic, I know it's kind of hard to do, but I know it's a tournament show. What did you think of it, Dave? Was it a pretty solid night of wrestling from the Mae Young Classic?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, you can go 3 or even 4, I guess, whatever. But I think if I'm rating this whole night, I mean, I think it was way better than Raw, and it was, to me, a 5 because I'll give it a 5 because you had 3 hours of some really good wrestling. So I don't think anyone can complain about that. Yeah, I think all 3 shows delivered.
Oh, trust me, Adam. I already have some guys picked out for mods. I think they already know who they are. The new update from Periscope has effed up everyone. See, damn, that's not what I want to hear. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, good show. I'll give it a 3.5. Just it would have been a 4, but the injury was kind of like put a little downer. But like Dave said, it's more apparent that Wednesday nights for the hardcore wrestling fans, like that's the place to be. It's 3 hours of fun. So definitely looking forward to next week.
You could add 4 hours if you want to count NXT UK. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we touched on our part 1 of our video. If you want to go watch that, you can go 2 videos ago and see our opinions on that. Again, I apologize. I feel so bad about the issues that we've been having tonight. Couldn't give you all a full good show, but that means we'll be bringing it 125% on Saturday night. So I hope you guys can join us. I love how you ignored the last part on purpose. No, I have a couple of people. Oh, the making fun of HBK. Shit, y'all can't make fun of a goat, a greatest of all time, a icon, the showstopper, the main event, Mr. WrestleMania. You don't need. I don't need to go on and on and on because I can go on forever.
We need to do a 4th video. Tony's Periscope's fucking up. He's talking about restart.
Nope, we have not talked about Impact yet. We are about to talk about Impact, man. So BW Champion, you jumped in just in time. We're about to touch on Impact on Pop, which was a very interesting show tonight. And let's get into some Austin Aries stuff because I know Dave kind of said some stuff in the chat room earlier today. But to me, tonight kind of clarified that it was a work. And the reason why I think it was a work is because to me, if it was something like that, where a guy did what he did at the main event of Bound for Glory, I don't think they would be mentioning what happened the next night on Thursday night. They could, I think they would totally ignore it. Even though they didn't mention Austin Aries' name, it was just kind of weird that they did bring it up. Now, what did you think of the opening segment, Alex? And what are you? Can you really touch on this? Because I know you didn't see all of Impact.
Yeah, I can talk. I know enough.
Okay, go ahead. What did you think of it?
You want to think about Impact or the Aries thing?
Both. I want to know both.
Okay. Oh, you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you perfect.
Like I said earlier, I mean, hey, if it's a work, I'll give Aries props, for pulling it off. Like Impact took advantage of Aries' outside the ring reputation and, use that to, I guess, work people. I know the rumors we'll probably talk about more Saturdays. They're trying to go for this loose cannon gimmick thing. So, I mean, if you know what, and we've talked about it, Impact's like lacking like stars. So whatever generates interest, I mean, I'm intrigued for them. I'm all for it. With that said, I can see why people still don't like that type of work just because it kind of diminishes Johnny Impact's win. I mean, like no selling, but yeah, I mean, if it's a work, props for him. Hopefully, it generates positive vibes. There's still a little bit of uncertainty, but I guess that's what Impact, if this is a work, wanted to accomplish. So we'll still speculate. So I guess they're doing the job right.
Dave?
I'll talk about the Aries stuff, but yeah, I mean, from what I was seeing, like now people are claiming that they're gonna have Aries go around, not be around for a while, and have him go to these indie shows, playing up the kind of a loose cannon gimmick that he's playing, where you never know. Where we hear about like how Brian Pillman was always working people. He worked the boys, he worked everybody. Everyone thought he was legit crazy, and that's what Aries is kind of playing off that whole thing, if that's what they're doing, and he ends up coming back, say for their January show, he just shows up at that pay-per-view or something around that time.
Yeah,
I mean that would be interesting.
That could happen.
Yeah, I mean anything's possible. I mean, I'm not a huge Aries fan right now, but I mean if it's a work, then good for them. Hey, we've talked about this a lot. They don't have no stars hardly that can really bring people in to watch. So creating a story like this, I mean, maybe it draws interest and gets people to want to actually tune in at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah,
they're doing a good job in creating for my 2K19 fans buzz. So why not?
Now we had Johnny Impact open up Impact. Man, say that a couple of times fast. Johnny Impact open Impact, kind of touching on what happened Bound for Glory. Talking about how long it took him to make it to where he was, talked about his movies and Survivor and all this stuff, and basically said that he's going to be a fighting champion. He welcomes all challengers, and he says whoever thinks that they deserve a title shot to come down and take your opportunity. And it was Phoenix. Phoenix comes down and congratulates Johnny and says he's won all titles across the world except for in Impact Wrestling, and he wants an opportunity to fight for the belt against Johnny next week on Impact Wrestling. So I think it's kind of smart of Impact doing this since they are moving to the new time slot. They're going to have an intriguing match to make you kind of, double think about maybe staying up and watching it. But what did you think of these promo, Dave, and the match next week between Phoenix and Johnny Impact?
Well, I didn't see this promo, but what you said, it sounds good. I mean, heck, I want to see this match. Hopefully I can find a stream to watch it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to see it. I mean, it sounds good, and I like it. I don't know if they face. I'm sure they had to face Center and Lucha Underground at some point. But I mean, yeah, it sounds good, and yeah, I like it.
What about you, Alex? What are your thoughts on this match next week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think Dave and I need to really figure out how the hell to get a stream because I definitely want to see it. I love Phoenix. I mean, that guy just, you kind of, even if he does the same moves every time you see him, like just the way he presents it, it's always just so like unreal, like what some of the stuff he does. So I think it'll be a good match, especially if we see the Johnny that we saw from Sunday from Bound for Glory. And yeah. Well, definitely looking. It was definitely a nice little surprise. You weren't really expecting Phoenix, so looking forward to it for sure.
You know what's really strange about this, though, to me, when you look at these guys? Okay, just think about this for a minute. Okay, you have Phoenix, you have Johnny Impact. For the Impact World title, you have Brian Cage and Sami Callihan going to be feuding for the X Division title. What sounds weird about this? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yeah, it should be the other way around.
I mean, I think we're all. I think we've been weird about it since Brian Cage became X Division champion. So.
But I'm gonna eat some of my words what I said about Brian Cage, and we'll touch on that when we get to the main event because I'm gonna admit I was wrong on one thing when I said something about him becoming the X Division champion. Now we have Johnny Impact taking on Phoenix next week on Impact. I know we won't be having a Thursday night show, unfortunately, but we'll touch more of this on Saturday, probably give our predictions. But let's do a little early predictions right now. Who walks out champion next week? Dave?
He's not losing the title after just winning it. All right. Phoenix is losing, sorry.
What about you, Alex?
Johnny Impact is Impact's closest thing to mainstream appeal, so I think he's going to keep it.
Okay, fair point. Bobby Russi, I think, is commenting towards you, Alex, so maybe you want to read that in the chat room. You think the later time BW Champion wrote, do you think the later time slot will allow them to put on more mature type show? I feel like they are. So they did kind of announce that it was going to be we're hinting at it tonight with Impact After Dark.
That's what they said?
He mentioned he did talk about a lot of saying that they can, do more of whatever they want and they can be a little bit more edgier because it's going to be Impact After Dark.
Okay, let me ask you this. So they're going to go further with Scarlett saying more? She's going to say more like, oh, I just got wet, so she's going to go further than that?
That's what they're trying to play it up as, that they're going to be, since they're going to be on later in the evening where, a lot of the kids are already asleep, that they're going to be a lot more of an edgier show. That's what they were trying to portray tonight. They were very hyping that up a lot. I know Josh Matthews mentioned it a lot. Don Callis mentioned it a couple of times. That they're now in. That's probably going to be the new hashtag, Impact After Dark. So they seemed like they're trying to take this opportunity and run with it. I guess they're seeing it as a positive. I'm not sure how they
do something.
I'm not sure how they feel in real life about the change because it doesn't help that, at least in my opinion, I mean, we're ending a show period because of this whole time slot change. It's going to hurt them quite a bit. But if you think about it, currently, Impact Wrestling is up against two things at the moment: basketball and football. And they're going to probably get absolutely destroyed during that time slot of 8 Eastern to 10 Eastern. I understand that. But to move it, 2 hours after the normal time slot, that's a bit extreme. I would figure, why not even move it a different day? Why not even move it on a weekend? I think would have been better. But it is what it
you
is.
got college football.
Well, I mean, at night, if you could have it at night, I would have minded. Why not have it on a Saturday night, 9 Eastern?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much home Saturday night. We're getting ready for Shoot the Shit. It'd be nice to have like an 8 p.m. Saturday Impact.
Hey, Tony, you don't got to sell me on a Saturday night wrestling show. You know this. I would be all down for that.
I think that would have been a nice idea to think about instead of
Saturday Night Impact.
How many people are still going to watch this show? I think it's going to hurt them really, really bad. I'm glad that they're having a positive feel about it, and they're trying to throw you this Impact After Dark stuff. But on all serious, who's going to stay up on the East Coast to midnight to watch an Impact? Not a lot of people.
A Friday, like they were on Fridays at one point. I mean, Friday Night Impact would have been perfect too again, because there's not really a lot on Fridays.
Yeah, college football is on Saturday night, and I get that, but for the most part, sometimes games are usually blowouts by halftime. There's very rarely very good, awesome games.
Yeah, you get those rivalry games, but they're not every.
Yeah, you get those later in the season, and you get to the bowl seasons and stuff like that. At least with an Impact at a later evening, you might have a better chance to get some more followers. Get those people that don't really watch on a weekday that watch it on a weekend. So let's move on. I'm sorry about that.
Really quick, you got 3 nights that you could work that would benefit for you without being up against major competition, which would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I mean, those would be the 3 nights you could go. It really not up a steep competition, other than maybe some basketball on ESPN or whatever's on.
I just don't understand how this would benefits them at all. I mean, it benefits people who are in the West Coast, but if you guys like us, East Coast and Central Time, it's a bit rough for us to stay up that late when you have to wake up next day for an early work day or something like that.
Yeah, I also seen Pop tweeting, "Oh, we're going to re-show Impact right now." So they're
they showed it on again. Yeah, BW Champion. They need. Yeah, we touched on this Tuesday night. BW Champion. I believe you're new to the show. Please hit that follow button. We touched on that on Tuesday night, to be exact. That they need to move to Tuesdays when SmackDown Live goes to Friday. We touched on that.
Do it. So they could do it now if they wanted to. I mean, shit. I moved to Tuesdays now at 8, and then but maybe, hey, if they're going to be after dark, they better do something to me. If they're going to say we're after dark, we're going to be more edgier, then you better give us something more edgy. You better give us something different next week, then something that we're not expecting. So you're going to be on that late at night. Give us some ECW style crap. I don't care, something.
Fuck it. Have Killer Cross kill someone.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah,
Allie didn't technically kill
you usually listen to us on YouTube? Oh, sweet, man. Well, appreciate you popping up on a Periscope as well. Thank you for that. Again, thank you everybody who watched our show from Tuesday night. One of our most successful YouTube videos that we've done in quite some time. That wasn't a pay-per-view. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate everybody popping over there and hitting that subscribe button as well. Don't forget, our next giveaway will be at the end of the month. And the only way you could win that giveaway, everybody, is if you're following us, or I should say subscribe to us on the YouTube. So hit that YouTube, subscribe. Let's get the tables over there on the YouTube. It's easy to find. And we hope everybody can follow us there as well. Trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. Shit, y'all remember when they tried to compete on Monday nights, try to be edgy too? Yeah. Yes, it was a major fail and a bad idea at that. So let's move on to Katarina took on Taya Valkyrie in a one-on-one match. And Taya, of course, gets the win, and Mackenzie had a nice little post-match interview with her, and says it's just speculation what happened if the referee didn't get knocked out. Tessa is one of the best wrestlers in the world and still had to resort to cheap tactics to beat her. She says she used to respect Tessa, but now she doesn't. It's all about that respect, everybody. So basically, she's saying that Tessa had to resort to cheating to beating Taya, so making Taya feeling, that, the only way Tessa could win was to cheat.
How'd she cheat?
Well, the whole apron bit, where remember the referee was trying to fix the apron for about 25 minutes?
It delayed the pin. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
come on. That's not really cheating. It's called wrestling.
So,
When Ric Flair, man, he lost. Then he was a big time cheater.
So we didn't match Blanchard tonight. So I guess this Taya Valkyrie feud is not over yet. They did announce her name. It's Jordan McKenzie.
Jordan Grace.
Grace. Why did I say McKenzie?
You know, interviewer, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. That's probably why. Jordan Grace was announced that she will be going to Impact. They didn't announce when. I know I saw some pictures on the Twitter of her making her debut on Impact, and I know Red Sox fan touched on it on our show on Tuesday night. That's a great addition to the Impact roster. The talent is getting better. I know a lot of us, especially on Sunday night's Bound for Glory show, touching on what the hell's next for Tessa Blanchard. She's beaten everybody pretty much, and looks like maybe that'll be her next opponent. Alex, are you looking forward to another Taya Valkyrie and Tessa Blanchard match?
Yeah, actually, I really enjoyed their match from Bound for Glory. I think that was the best match. I'm not gonna pretend I've seen a lot of Taya Valkyrie matches, but that was her best showing, I think. Yeah, like you said, there's not really much. You have Allie in a feud with herself, it looks like. So, I mean, there's not really much competition. So, and with just a comment on Jordan Grace, I've seen a couple matches from her. She's really good, man. I mean, she's like a power type of wrestler. She's a bit on the short side, but like it's good. It could bring like a monster if you bring her as a monster heel or just a monster badass. Like, I think that'll be a good addition to the knockout division.
Now, here's a question for you guys. Now, Bob Baruski says I better see intergender matches with her. Now, here's my question with you, both of you guys, and in the chat room as well. Now that Impact is supposedly going to be Impact After Dark. And I know she has a little bit of a history with Brian Cage and a few others in Impact. Could we see her challenge for a men's title?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you book her like a badass monster that she could just whoop anyone's ass, regardless of gender, why not?
Yeah, I could see her taking the Impact title and beating up Johnny Every Name.
Tony, would you be behind intergender matches on on Impact?
I don't think I would have an issue with it. Just I
mean,
know, man.
Enjoy it.
It'd be I don't know. I wouldn't mind it because I've seen her stuff in the ring with men. I'm sure she could definitely go with anyone on that roster. I'm just kind of curious of how they would portray it, and especially if she won, would people find it believable? You know what I mean? That's what my problem is. Now, I would love to see her perform against men. I know she's done it on the indie scene, and they want to have more edgier type matches or edgier type content. What other way to bring in views at a late night showing of maybe a Cage and Jordan X Division title match? I mean, that could happen.
Or she faces Johnny Impact for the world title.
Yeah.
Beats him. She could take him.
I mean, they could have a battle royal where she just enters herself and she wins it in like the number one contender match. So we'll see how that's worked for her. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you guys talked about, this would be a great opponent for Tessa. Well, what if she doesn't come in as Tessa's opponent, but as her partner to help her, I guess, her like bodyguard
Yeah.
when she has these big challenges? I could see that happening. That she's brought in like something like that, but maybe the way they showed it, she probably won't be. But to me, that would be interesting to have her like Killer Cross.
I hope not. I want to see her and Tessa Blanchard 1-on-1.
Yeah, but do you want it right away? How wouldn't it be better with a storyline behind it that
Oh, of
she,
course, of course. Eventually.
on her, and then they have a big rivalry going. So I mean, yeah,
You mean she finds out that Taya is like shit talking about her, and then she has a moment of bliss, that type of storyline, Dave.
And then she trashes the women's locker room.
No, I mean like a storyline where
an actual storyline, yeah,
where her and Tessa are a team, and then
yes,
Tessa like tells her to go do this, do that, and then she gets sick of it, and then we get the whole Bobby the Giant where she slaps her, and then
that's funny. If there's any Red Sox fans in the chat room, congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. They have advanced the World Series.
Oh, new champions.
So congratulations to the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, we'll see new champions this MLB season. So congratulations to all you Boston Red Sox fans, especially Red Sox fan who's not in here tonight. I can see why, but congratulations to him as well. Next, we had Ethan Page take on Trevor Lee. And seems like Trevor Lee is the guy that they put in matches just to fucking take the loss because he loses again. And I like how Ethan Page is an asshole and liked my tweet when I said, of course, Trevor Lee loses on Impact or whatever. I can't remember what my tweet said, but he liked my tweet. What an ass.
That was funny. I like it.
You guys have any thoughts on this particular match? Dave, I don't think you found a stream to watch Impact tonight. So, Alex, any thoughts on this match in particular?
No, I mean you're building up Ethan Page, so I'm okay with that. I still think, Tony, I would like it if Trevor Lee was the one that Scarlett decides to pick as her I guess the person she's going to manage. I think that would be a nice. It's like Trevor is like let's be honest, he's a fucking caveman, and then you have Scarlett, and it's a nice contrast. I'd be behind it, and it gives your boys something to do.
Hello, Fierce Titans. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I seen some highlights on Twitter and stuff, so I was paying attention to what was going on. But yeah, I mean, what I've seen, it looked like a pretty entertaining match, and too bad Trevor had to lose again. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they're doing with Ethan Page. How they just gave him the win right off the bat like that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Trevor Lee. And I don't know if Scarlett. I don't know what they're doing with her. It's confusing. They're opening it to the fans to send her videos now, and it's like, yeah, that's a dangerous road right there.
Oh, there are definitely some videos that I don't think Scarlett's going to be posting on her feed from fans.
No. And a lot of wiener pictures as well, I'm sure. I can only imagine. McKenzie's backstage with Willie Mack and Rich Swann, who says he's on a roller coaster ride. He and Willie won this past Sunday, and Willie says he is happy to help Swann take out some enlightened jokers. But tonight, Swann has an opportunity, and he knows Swann is gonna do good, but he'll be watching from the back, and he's got his back. Swann says the title is close to his hands, and he may be up against a machine, but he has charisma, athleticism, and raw talent, and he won't be held down. That's when we saw a look back at the Allie's trip to the underworld. Then Kara Hogan finds a now brunette Allie backstage, wants to check out her since they haven't talked since the pay-per-view. Allie says she's fine and seems really bubbly and happy despite clearly being crazy. And then that's when we had the GWN throwback match, which was Eric Young beating Magnus for the world title. We had Petey Williams backstage segment with Scarlett. She said her talent search isn't open to just wrestlers, but the fans as well. And she'll have her first viewing party next week. So, Alex, are you excited for her viewing party next week? And the Impact After Dark. Remember that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like it's something different for Allie. I died when the crowd was chanting Psycho Bunny. So
Yes.
it's something. I mean, it gives Allie some form of direction. I don't know if they're just doing this until Rosemary officially comes back, but we'll see.
Alex pulled the me. He did what I did. Tony asked him something completely different
Oh, what are you asking about?
about Scarlett Bordeaux and the After Dark viewing party.
Hey, man. I mean, if that's how they're booking Scarlet, I'm sure we'll get, especially after dark. We're definitely gonna get some creepers viewing in. Probably myself. Who knows? But yeah, it's something.
Bob Ruski in the chat says, Impact, please don't let me down again with Allie. Keep this going. Yeah, she seems to have this kind of split personality at the moment.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to talk about that match. I did see some videos, and that video was, I like it. I like what they're doing with Allie. I mean, this little split personality. Even Rosemary was kind of interested on Twitter when she quoted the tweet. So, yeah, when we talk about this match, I can't wait to talk about it.
No, we had Tommy Dreamer taking on Killer Cross. Tommy Dreamer just getting used because they're in New York, I guess. Killer Cross gets the win. I mean, really nothing to really talk about with this other than what the hell's next for Killer Cross and Moose.
Well, I mean, Tony, what do you think of Killer Cross so far? Is he doing it?
I like Killer Cross. Why not make Killer Cross and Moose tag team partners and go after LAX?
I like it. I mean, it gives a really good monster heel team. Me personally, I'd like to keep Cross honestly as a singles because we talked. There was like a Twitter conversation earlier. Like, I really like Killer Cross. I mean, you don't really see that nowadays, where there's just a badass, no bullshit heel. He's not trying to be the cool heel that gets like that like gets a pop for his heel antics.
Right.
He's not like overusing Twitter like as much as I love Ciampa. He's just straight up. He looks menacing. He's believable. He's solid in the ring, and I think Impact has something good with that. I think he can be a top heel for the time being, unless he signs with NXT or New Japan. We'll see.
Bob Ruski says, about time Cross gets a title. I agree with you on that. Killer Cross has done some pretty good stuff. Shit, y'all expecting to do a live show like Edge and Lita? Oh gosh, here we go. Here comes the weirdo.
Scarlett and Don Callis. There you go.
Yeah. So, Dave, any thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, I'm starting to like Cross. I mean, I like him and Moose together, actually. I think it's a good little team, and I like what they're doing. And enough with Tommy Dreamer, but whatever. I like Tommy Dreamer a lot, but man, I mean, this is what they had for Cross, so it's like, yeah. Because the story was, didn't Tommy Dreamer call out Moose, but he gets Cross instead?
Yeah, and Cross knocks him out basically. It took at the end. Oh my God, what is going on? We're getting trolled attacked, everybody. So next we had LAX celebrating the end of the OGs. Richie better not be in here. We do have in-laws in New York. After all, says LAX, the OGs come in to interrupt them doing shots. Kingston says that they had a little message from the bosses who were kind enough to let him and the OGs keep a piece of New York, but under the condition that they stay on separate sides. Conan says that they're on the wrong side and tell him to get the step in, and the OGs take a walk and they have a toast to the OGs as they retreat in shame. Any thoughts on this? Because it looks like OGs are gone for now. What is up and what is next for LAX? Alex, any quick thoughts on that?
A good question. I guess I'll just go off of what you guys, you or Dave said just now. Like, if Moose and Cross, they go for the tag team titles. I mean, you need heel tag teams, so yeah, have them go up against LAX. That'll be a lot of fun. I do hope that the OGs do stay on, not as to feud with LAX, but I think, like I said, Impact's tag division does need some tag teams, and like I think they bring a good heel vibe to them. So yeah, definitely curious to see what they do with LAX.
Dave, anything?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind what Alex said, but yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I did see something, and you're not
Yeah,
done seeing the old G's. The OGs will be back. They're coming back. But yeah, I'm kind of sick of this whole thing. Oh, you get a piece of New York, you stay on your side. I'm like, oh my god, Alex. So, can you go interview the OGs for us then?
what? Yeah,
Because they got a piece of New York. So go get an interview with Kingston and them.
I think I'm more likely to get an interview with LAX since Conan DMs me. So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Go
the
in
old
and
DM.
those DMs.
What teams do they actually have? Who fucking knows, Babaruski?
Hey, what about? Are we gonna talk about Gama Singh?
Oh, good God.
I have nothing to say about that, honestly.
He's gonna
Yeah,
wrestle.
yeah, he's gonna wrestle the
I think it's
other.
a swerve.
Yeah, but he has to have one more test before he can face him. So that'll happen next week.
All I say is I'm not without spoiling. Don't worry. This isn't the last we see of Gamma um, involved in Impact tapings. That's all I'll say.
Yes.
Let's see what else. We had Ali taking on Alicia Edwards.
Yes.
Basically, Ali gets the win, and then she goes crazy after the match. Um, she starts beating her up after the match. Like Alex said earlier, the crowd started chanting "Psycho Bunny" at her, and Ali kind of snapped out of it after she was broken up by Kira, saying kind of, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I'm not, I'm not, I don't know what's going on. So basically, she is crazy at the moment. One side of Ali is nice and cherry and peppy, and then the other side is crazy and wants to kill you. Alex, your quick thoughts on this adjustment of Ali's character right now?
Um, I'm not completely sold on it, but I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, we've seen. I don't I don't like to try to keep making WWE parallels on Impact recap, but we see what happens when certain characters are kind of like a clear cut baby face. They go into a complete attitude change. It does well for them. So I'll definitely keep an open mind with her. I do think that they're going to go this route until Rosemary is fully cleared to wrestle back again, maybe lead up to Rosemary coming back and saying, "What's happened to you?" And it kind of builds up to a match between those two, maybe.
Okay. What about you, Dave?
I like it. I like this crazy side of Ali. Some people don't like it. I noticed online that she's no longer blonde and happy bunny going around shaking everyone's hand, which a lot of people said they didn't really like it. So a lot of fans who didn't really like that side of her being all cheery and happy all the time.
Well, you got
And
something
it's a
different now.
change. Yeah, it's a change of a character, and I like that Impact gives them the freedom to do stuff like this. And I have a feeling this is going to lead to another one of those backstage segments or those going back to the undead realm where they try to get Ali's soul back.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam Baum, for coming in here, dude. Always a huge supporter of the show, and we really do appreciate you coming in here. What if Sue recruits Ali to take out Rosemary? Says BW champion.
Hey, that'd be something, right?
Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Sue versus Ali. Soul on a pole.
Loser leaves and goes to the undead realm.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what Impact's going to be on next week. The undead realm.
Look at you, Jody Mania, getting a like from Brandy Rhodes. Next, you just got to have her on the show. Hook it up. Get it going, Jody Mania.
If Impact's going to keep doing this campy stuff, why not put them on Sci-Fi?
Because it's owned by NBC Universal, who owns WE.
Oh, God damn it. The system wins again.
Thank you, everybody who's joining us over on the YouTube as well. Appreciate it. If you don't mind, hit that like on the video. We'd really appreciate that. The likes on the videos really get YouTube's attention, and hopefully we can make it big on YouTube one day as well. So
But that's a great idea when you look at what they're kind of doing as sci-fi-ish type stuff. So that would be a good idea, but I don't think WWE would sign off on that.
But look at BW Champion coming out with an interesting little storyline there. That would be very, very interesting. All right, let's get to the main event, everybody. Main event was the X Division title match. Brian Cage taking on Rich Swann. Boy, did this match deliver. Hell of a match. Brian Cage retains the title, but after the match, Sami Callihan comes down and pretty much declares him as the next challenger for the X Division Championship. OVE tries to get involved and attack Brian Cage, but if Brian Cage goes over them, and he shows Brian Cage on top of the world at the end of the night as your X Division champion. We kind of touched on this on Sunday night, touching on after Bound for Glory about Sami Callihan and Brian Cage facing each other down the line for an X Division championship. Sami Callihan, the first guy to pin Brian Cage since he has joined the Impact Wrestling. Alex, your thoughts on this and the potential feud with Sami Callihan?
So I saw highlights, but definitely after the I'm off during the day tomorrow, so after the show, I'm gonna definitely watch the match because from what I saw, man, I mean, holy shit! I mean, we know how Swann is in that ring when it comes to like that X Division quality type of wrestling, but I think the big talk about is Brian Cage. I mean, shit, I'll say it, man. I'm definitely big on him because he's a big guy, he's jacked up as hell. But that guy can move, man, and I'm sure Tony's gonna go into it. But we were all had our thoughts about Brian Cage going into the X Division, and yeah, in the beginning it was like, is he just gonna just completely squash everyone? Is he just gonna destroy the whole X Division? But no, I mean he's making these matches look very believable, very good back and forth. I don't think Swann lost, but he looked good out there, and like it made it a very believable match. And if you could keep doing that with these Brian Cage matches, then I'm all for it. And as for Callihan and Cage, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think OVE versus the Machine is a nice little feud. You have already a lot. The fact that Sami can now say as the heel, I'm the first person to beat Brian Cage, so got a lot right there. So I think it'll be fun. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. I just want to see more of Sami Callihan telling Dave and Jay Christ, you're going to be facing the Machine today, and like just seeing their reactions.
What about you, Dave? What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, like Alex, I didn't really get to see the match, but I did see the video where Sami Callihan came out at the end. I'm just surprised how quickly it's happening. I figured it would be like a slow build up to it after that. Maybe have it on a pay-per-view, which would be huge. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, this will be good. Like I said, I was shocked it's happening so quickly, but like as soon as we talked about it the next night, it's like, boom, it's happening. But there you go. They're going to do it. They already talked about it. And so it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm excited for this match. It's weird to me, though. I mean, which I can see because this is the X Division title. I mean, it just seems like it should be the world title happening, and Johnny Every Name should be the X Division champion or something like that. But this is just strange to me. But yeah, I like what he's doing with the X Division. I mean, he's definitely a big name for the X Division, so it helps it. I mean, there isn't really, like we talked about a tag division, there isn't really a lot of guys on Impact that it's kind of crossing barriers a little bit because the X Division guys who are facing each other seem like they're going for the world title, and kind of the heavyweights are the X Division. So it's kind of like a little throwing you off a little bit, but so I mean it's interesting, and I'm interested in this feud more than I am anything Johnny Impact does. But Phoenix will be good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying I think I'm more interested in Callihan and Cage right now, so that's interesting. And also Callihan just signed a new deal as well too.
Yeah, we were gonna touched on that on a Saturday night show. So, yeah, I think all around, since both of you guys really didn't see much of Impact, I think Impact was a solid show. I think everybody enjoyed it for the most part. Got a nice little title match at the main event. I would say give it a 4 as well. Main event was really good. I would definitely check back at the main event if you could, if you're able to. If not, you missed out on a good main event tonight, unfortunately. I know this is our last Thursday night show. for quite some time unless something happens on a Thursday night or Impact, like I said, moves back to the usual time slot. Sucks that they're moving, but it is what it is. Dave, your favorite moment since doing these Thursday night shows? If it's not Impact, NXT, it could be anything.
I guess my favorite part of doing, I'll just say, I won't leave it to wrestling. I'll go back to that in a minute. But my favorite part about doing this show in general is talking about something else besides we go Raw and SmackDown, stuff like that. I've enjoyed this. Like I said before, this is my favorite show to do. We can talk about Impact. We talk about a little bit NXT. Sometimes we talk a little Lucha Underground. But I mean, yeah, it was fun. And this was fun talking with you guys, not just talking straight WE talk. And I
Right.
just really enjoy doing this. And if I had like a favorite match, still my favorite match has to be Phoenix and Cage so far right now.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I've only started watching, like I said, I only started watching Impact since Redemption, so not much really to go off. But Thursday nights, man, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, Tuesdays we recap Raw and SmackDown, and I would say for the most part we're pretty negative, especially when it comes to Raw. A lot of critique, but I feel like when Thursday comes, like you said, we cover 205, Impact, NXT, all shows that overall we're very enthusiastic about. We're always excited to watch. There's a lot of positivity and it's always good vibes. So it sucks that we won't be able to do this because of the Impact moving. Obviously, Tony, I think with adding all this to Saturday, we may get that 12-hour show.
Yeah, it might be a Crown Jewel show one of these nights on a Saturday night.
And sorry, just to add my favorite moment, Brian Cage versus Phoenix is definitely up there for me personally. Y'all know I'm a sucker for the dark stuff. All the Sue Young stuff that was happening in the beginning, I loved every bit of it. So that would be my favorite memories.
Oh yeah, that stuff with her and Madison Rain was
Yeah.
freaking top notch. I love that stuff. That was so entertaining. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, this wasn't really about the Thursday show, but part of our kind of our Impact talk. I mean, really going through that. I'm sure we'll still probably try to do some Impact pay-per-views when they come out too, but that's not going to be a lot. But Pentagon and Sami Callihan, man, that match is unbelievable.
Yeah, there were some nice moments on our Thursday night show. I think, like I said, when we first started doing these shows, I didn't think we'd get as much of a following that we did. The success that came out of our Thursday night shows were very, very good. I mean, we had 1,000 viewers, I think, almost every night we did Thursday night shows. I don't think there was a night that we missed 1,000 viewers. Even right now, if you want to count all fucking 3 of our shows, we're over 1,000 views. So it's just crazy how things fell that way with people coming in here. When we gained a lot of new followers to the show because of Impact and people coming in here and watching Impact with us and debating and interacting with us. The Impact pay-per-views will still be going. We'll still do post shows for Impact pay-per-views. It's just no Thursday night show because of the move of time slots. So it's going to be different. It's going to be interesting to go back to 2 shows only, but that just makes y'all a little bit more eager to see us on Tuesdays and Saturday nights, and gives us a little bit more to talk about on our Saturday night shows, because our Saturday night shows were kind of becoming stale because there wasn't a lot of wrestling news to talk about, and we've already touched on everything already. So expect the Saturday night shows to be a little bit longer, not too much. Maybe we'll move the time slot up a little bit if we see that the shows are lasting a little bit too long. But we just hope everybody can join us on Saturday night and shoot the shit with us. What would I do with my Thursday nights? Jody Mania says, I know. I feel bad to end these shows, but it just, by golly, blame Pop TV. Damn it.
He sucks.
Alex, will you be joining us on Saturday evening?
Yes, sir. We got a packed show. A lot on the dirt sheets for sure.
Right, a lot of dirt sheet talk. So if you're not really into getting kind of semi-spoiled on a couple of things, join us, but just mute us when we touch on certain topics you don't want to be spoiled on. Other than that, we will be live with you Saturday night. If there is a different time slot, we will let you know via the Twitter account at Get the Tables. Please follow us at the Twitter account. If you haven't already, those are all our Twitter handles on the bottom of the screen. Please throw a follow over there. And if you haven't already, jump over on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and try to get us over to 100 followers over on the YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're about to hit 1,000 viewers tonight. So thank you all to everybody who came in to all 3 shows because we had such terrible technical difficulties. I'll make sure I download that update on the Periscope app and do the update on my iPad as well. So thank you, Chris, Liam, Jeffrey Cross, Bob Aruski, Scope TV Search, Alice, Will Miller. Thank you for the Super Hearts, Jeffrey Cross and Spees. And thank you, everybody who came throughout tonight's show. And thank you, everybody who joined us for this wild ride these past couple of months on our Thursday night shows. It's going to be a sad day, everybody. We bid you all a farewell. Any last thoughts before Saturday night's show, Dave?
No. I mean, hope I'll be in here watching it, and we'll be for the show for sure. I'll be here doing the show for sure because we got us a wintery mix coming. So there you go.
A what?
A wintery mix.
Indeed.
Welcome back, fall.
What about you, Alex? Anything else?
I'm looking forward to Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. But in regards to tonight, let us all just have a quick moment of silence.
I was gonna say, you know what the perfect song ending for this would be is.
And yeah, so long Thursdays. I'm sure, just like retired wrestlers, we will eventually come back on Thursdays somewhere down the line if the money's good. But yeah,
if the money's right, we'll be back. So thank you, everybody, for being with us, sticking with us, showing that support. Hope you guys follow us over to the Saturday night show. If you are Impact Wrestling fans, we do apologize. We still love the product. It's just doing a midnight showing would just not be smart. So we thank you, everybody, for joining us these last couple of months on Thursdays. We'll continue our Tuesdays and Saturday night shows, pay-per-views on Sundays. Everything is still the same. Just there'll be no more Thursday night shows. So we bid you guys a farewell. Hope you guys have a great Friday, payday, jumping into your weekend. Because we want you to spend your Saturday evening with us, your wrestling family, over here on Periscope and YouTube, everybody.
I was just going to say, don't forget, we are on Patreon.
Yeah, we have a Patreon as well.
I'm getting paid this week. Make it happen.
For special giveaways. So if you want to jump on the Patreon and do a friendly donation, we'd appreciate it. If not, like I always say, you having your seat in here in the house of the Get the Tables arena is always great. So we do appreciate you guys coming here, dropping those hearts, the super hearts, the shares, the retweets. They go a long way, everybody. You may not think they do, but they go a very, very long way. So we appreciate over the 1,000 viewers we had. Sorry for the technical difficulties we were having throughout the show. We're going to end you with some more Aleister Black. So headbang your way out the show. Have a great night. Have a great Friday because we want to see you on Saturday, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.